A number of things are happening with Xbox at the moment. One of them is that the gamers lawsuit, the so-called gamers challenging lawsuit against the Activision acquisition, has finally been dismissed with prejudice, and it's not going to be refiled again. Apparently, I don't know the motivation of this group or this lawsuit that came into the picture when the Activision deal was going through. Perhaps somebody needed some attention. That deal was going to go through. There was already a body of material, articles, analysis, fanboy comments, and videos and podcasts that told us for the longest time that, PlayStation was the leader. And Phil Spencer, I don't know, man. I think some of you still keep doubting a mild-natured Phil Spencer that's, coming out and the way he talks and everything doesn't look intimidating. But one thing you don't realize is I think he's actually very, very bright, brighter than, a lot of the folk here that categorize him. And I'm sure if you guys were to sit down in a business setting, he'd probably have, a lifetime worth of lectures for you about business. And I remember a while before a lot of this stuff was going down, he came out to do this, woe is me lap where Xbox and we don't have as many good games as PlayStation does. Then he did the lap of we lost the console generation. Then he did the lap of, man, we don't have anything that PlayStation has. And all of these, for the most part, were seemingly feeding into that, positioning Microsoft in, I think, the light that the gaming industry had seen it from the video game side, but not necessarily from the bank account side. So now in bringing the bank account, there were all these parties who had some vested interest that, maybe somewhere, somehow, Xbox was going to probably not get that Activision deal, but it wasn't going to be the case. So that old thing has been basically dismissed. The second thing that's on the agenda right now is that Game Pass is about to do the content dump. Remember, this content dump is the one I've been telling you all about for a while now. Apparently, some people have probably not seen the proposition going on. The shifts are being made, and not only that, with the opening of the Google Play Store to Xbox, because of Epic Games, a lot more has even taken place, which includes the reality now that Xbox can now basically stay on Android, and that becomes a storefront for them. Not only that, it provides the ability for you to be able to stream from your Android phone. So by straight to streaming, business is about to be exposed to a lot of the folk who have not necessarily understood exactly what the heck Microsoft and Xbox have been doing in this ecosystem all this while. I think that's kind of something that a lot of people did not necessarily pay attention to. They didn't take into account that, Xbox is that company that actually is running their business like we came here to actually do business. They're, they have an open, conversation policy in a sense where, you're going to see Phil Spencer, you're going to see Sarah Bond, and some of these folk from Xbox actually just, reach out to people within the gaming conversation and community. However, I think they're very serious about focusing on their brand. And if you even think about the conversation that went on when people were talking about, Black Myth Wukong being money-hatted and all of these different aspects in terms of the conversation, I think the very first thing that you would notice is when it came down to when it was all said and done, Xbox just said, we're focused on actually bringing games, to our consumers and to our platforms that will resonate with them. And that's basically what they said. They're focusing on that. And that focus is not lost in any sense nor any direction. I think the premature response of a lot of the Xbox fans, like some of the ones who they whined and cried and shouted so hard that they ran to PlayStation as some kind of a statement, I was laughing going like, dude, you don't got to tell everybody, like Xbox is not going to be moved by, you not wanting to actually focus on what's going on. So what's coming on Game Pass in October? South Park, the fractured but whole. I think this is a Ubisoft massive game, or I can't remember, but it's a Ubisoft published game. Anyways, I can't remember what studio developed it. My mind is saying Ubisoft massive, but hey, it is what it is. Donut County apparently is coming again, in the sense MechWarrior 5, and then that's available day one for a lot of folks. Apparently there's maybe some content that's available in that regard. And then Call of Duty Black Ops 6. This is the litmus test. This is, I think, the one that a lot of people were basically, in a sense, somewhat not comfortable with. Like, how is Activision going to basically be under the management of Xbox? Everybody considered this, reality. Even the head of PlayStation at the time, who, even though they knew it wasn't an exclusivity play, kind of positioned it to seem like, PlayStation was going to be done for. And if we take him seriously, then it means that this reality shows us that PlayStation, might be done for if this actually materializes, which the materialization is actually coming pretty soon to Game Pass next to you. And again, I know that was probably an overreaction on his side. And, sometimes, if everybody wants to take things literally, like I see a lot of PlayStation fans saying things like Phil Spencer said, we don't have any of these games, and all those statements that he made at the time showing Xbox in a weak light. Some people want to take it literally, but when you point out that Jim Ryan said if we ever were to get a lower quality version of this game, our business will never be the same, which is pretty much what they're getting. They're not getting the concession-based Call of Duty that they've always had, which had more maps, more XP and all. So that version is now being lowered. So is their business going to still be the same? It's a question that needs to be explored. But by and large, it seems like Xbox focus is still here. They're doing their marketing, contrary to what a lot of people have said. And then they're bringing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 to cloud. This is the most exciting part of the entirety of what, Xbox is offering. Now, I've gone back to Game Pass Ultimate because I then remembered I'm a PC gamer and we can find keys. And Xbox also lets its keys to be out there in other third-party shops. So you can actually get Game Pass Ultimate for the same price. Should I say this, tech guys out here? You know what? Anyways, go do your research yourself and then come back and talk to me, because I don't want to be the guy that went ahead and put it out there. That's why you're probably not seeing anybody making videos saying, oh, this is great. This is great. We're just being like, $19.99 for who? Anyways, it's interesting to see that the cloud is coming to, Game Pass Ultimate. And so some of us want to test it out and try it out and maybe enjoy the convenience. Maybe if you have a handheld device, I don't know, Rogue Ally X, Steam Deck, whatever it is. I was considering buying the PlayStation 5 Pro, but no, the Rogue Ally X is just too attractive for me. Maybe this holiday I might skedaddle my way to a Best Buy near me and then see what's going on if I'm actually, feeling it. If not, it is what it is. Maybe I'll find me one to buy on sale or maybe pre-owned. Ashen is coming to cloud. Dead Island 2 is coming to PC. I think it's Game Pass. Well, sorry, PC Game Pass, sorry. Oh, and Game Pass Ultimate as well. Well, I guess Ultimate also includes Game Pass PC. So this might be just exclusive to the PC platform, unlike, say, Ashen, which coming to cloud, console, and PC. And then you have StarCraft 2, which is the campaign collection. That's coming to PC November 5th, and StarCraft Remastered as well. And then some DLCs are coming. But to me, I strongly believe that right now, in my opinion, this is what really makes Xbox stand out in terms of all of what's going on. I mean, the crowd and the noise is starting to fade away. Reality is starting to set in. How is PlayStation going to respond to this? This is a question I've been asking for many, many weeks. And those who have always come to the side of PlayStation in these conversations, I'm curious as to how, PlayStation is going to respond to a lot of this content and what they're going to do. You see, the content is born out of the fact that Xbox, only had, say, half the number of players in terms of those who could actually who would buy their consoles. So they basically have made up for it and found out, well, in reality, the most important thing is actually software sales, which, as Microsoft is a software company, I would have thought that they would have realized that even from the past generation. But again, this generation probably provides them an opportunity, while PlayStation has been simply money-hatting, maybe not being prudent with its expenses. And now, they're in a part where they're selling hardware, but their software sales are just not existent. They're not even publishing much software. Instead, they're paying other studios, but different conversation at the end of the day. But right now, I think we're seeing an Xbox in a very interesting position in terms of what it has to offer. I think now the culmination of what I've been pointing out for the last few years, about 4 or 5 years, that Game Pass is really going to put a very interesting weight on the gaming market. Players are going to get a taste of a new expectation that, when you actually think about it in the grand scheme of things, it's definitely something that really does favor the consumer, and our mindsets are largely going to be changing with regard to how, we approach games from now henceforth. But let me hear your thoughts in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching the video. I really appreciate you guys' time and audience, and hopefully we'll talk pretty soon in another one. Peace out.